Hey, Mr. Malong. Did I miss anything in class while I was gone?
Well, we reviewed the brain while you were missing. I told you that if you missed class again, I would have to call your parents.
Please don't call my parents. I promise I know all about the brain.
What can you show me?
Well, first off, all the parts of the brain are located in 4 lobes. The frontal lobe, which is the front of the brain. The parietal lobe, which is the top of the brain. The occipital lobe, which is on the back of the brain. And the temporal lobe, which is on the bottom of the brain.
Well, Jerry, just knowing the lobes isn't going to be enough to pass you for this upcoming test.
I know more than the lobes, I promise.
Well, then let's play a game. You tell me 10 parts of the brain, where they're located, and what their function is. If you get 7 out of 10, you pass the game, and I won't call your parents.
Deal. Okay, so the first part of the brain I'm going to name is the amygdala.
Where's the amygdala?
The amygdala is located in the temporal lobe of the brain.
Correct. What purpose does the amygdala serve?
It's part of the limbic system, and it controls our emotional reactions. It deals with fear, sadness, happiness, and basically any emotion.
That's correct. You're 1 for 1.
Okay, so the next part of the brain that I'm going to name is the brainstem. This piece of the brain connects the cerebellum and the cerebrum to the spinal cord.
Correct. How does the brainstem help us every day?
Well, the brainstem contains other parts of the brain such as the midbrain, pons, and medulla. There are many functions that the brainstem has, but I think I'll just name those different parts with their functions later on.
Alright, great job. You're 2 for 2. Now, you mentioned the cerebellum. Tell me about it.
Isn't the cerebellum the right and left hemispheres of the brain?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it helps us to interpret what we hear and touch. And aside from that, it also helps us with our speech, reasoning, and emotions.
Well, can you give me an example of where the cerebellum would come in handy?
With fine motor skills, just like when I play Legos.
Tell me about the cerebrum then.
Well, that's easy. The cerebrum is located right under the cerebellum. It's smaller, too.
What does the cerebrum help us with?
It helps us with gross motor skills such as balance and posture, like when I do yoga.
Well, I hate to break it to you, bud, but you got those 2 things completely mixed up. The cerebellum is right here, and the cerebrum is up here. And you also got the 2 terms and their definitions mixed up. But I'd understand, they sound kind of the same.
Darn it.
Well, you're 2 for 4.
Well, with every minor setback, there's always a major comeback. The next part of the brain that I'm naming is the corpus callosum. It's located in between the left and right hemispheres of the brain.
Alright, what does the corpus callosum do, Jerry?
Well, the fibers that make up the corpus callosum help to deliver messages from the left and right part of the brain to each other.
Well, that was easy, but in order to get this one right, you need to tell me which sides of the brain controls which sides of your body.
Oh, I know this one. The left part of your brain controls the right side, and the right side of your brain controls the left side of your body.
Great job, bud. You're 3 for 5.
See, major comeback. Now the next part of the brain that I'm naming will be the hippocampus. It's in the temporal lobe. It controls our memory.
But what type of memory?
Well, it's for our long-term memory. So an example is like when I'm at home reading my flashcards, trying to memorize something.
Great job. Can you tell me something else about the hippocampus?
It has an unlimited capacity, and you can memorize anything, just as long as you put your mind to it.
4 for 6.
Alright, the next part I'm naming will be the hypothalamus. It's below the thalamus, and is part of the limbic system.
Can you tell me what it does?
Well, not right now. I can't really remember. I guess my hippocampus isn't working too well.
We'll come back to it.
Okay, well the next part is the medulla, and it's in the brainstem. It controls our natural functions. It helps regulate our breathing, heart rate, and other things that we don't necessarily think of every second of the day.
Okay, so you've got 1 part of the brainstem. Can you tell me about the other parts?
Well, the other parts are the pons and the midbrain. I like to think of the brainstem as something automatic. The pons, like the medulla, helps to control other natural and automatic functions, such as sleeping, sweating, and for when we need to control our bladder.
Wow, great examples. Right on. You're 5 for 8, unless you can remember what the hypothalamus does.
I can't get another one wrong. The next part of the brain is the pituitary gland. It's a tiny part right below the hypothalamus. It's sometimes called the master gland. It deals largely with the endocrine system.
Well, since we're talking about it right now, Can you tell me what the endocrine system is?
I thought this was about the brain.
Oh, well, I guess asking that is unfair. But the endocrine system is the gland that helps to produce hormones that will help to regulate our growth, metabolism, sleep, and mood.
Oh, I guess it makes sense that the pituitary gland is called the master gland.
Correct. You're 6 for 9.
Okay, one last part. The thalamus. It's kind of like the post office, where information comes and goes from the cortex. It's located in the middle of our brain.
Explain a bit more, please.
Well, let's say you touch something hot. The pain goes through your nerves in one hand and shoots up to the thalamus. The thalamus then sends the pain signals to the other part of your brain. It deals largely with feeling things with our body.
Great job, Jerry. You're 7 for 10. Well, you could be 8 for 10 if you tell me what the hypothalamus does.
I can't really remember.
Well, much like the pituitary, it's also like the master of our bodies. It helps to control other things that happen automatically, like your hunger, thirst, and sleepiness. It also deals greatly with knowing which hormones to release.
Oh, I remember. Now it also helps to deal with our body temperature and blood pressure. It's just like the video we watched on those monks earlier this week in class.
Correct. Those monks, even in the coldest conditions, were able to regulate their body temperatures at a safe level, even though they were wearing barely anything.
Well, I guess I passed. So sorry. I promise I won't skip class ever again.
Yeah. Why isn't taking the video?